everyone, it's Laura from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures. Welcome to or back to my channel. Well, I've been a little bit preoccupied in other areas of my life, so I haven't been on here in a while. This is going to be part 2 of Lady's Diary with Create with Scrimping Mommy. It's actually the second time around for me because I lost the footage of the original part 2 I started. So I have a lot more done than I did, you know, when I did that one. Anyhow, so let's go over it a little bit. What I have done, I've added some pockets. I started adding my pockets, and this is how I decided that I'm going to do quite a bit of it. I'm just going to take the original picture and I'm going to make a pocket out of that because I just didn't want to cover up all this prettiness, which is usually my problem. I don't know why. But anyway, I just don't want to I don't want to cover it up. So I have some plans for some of these. This will be writing. And as you can see, I have this one done and ready to go. So I basically just have to glue that in there for it to become a pocket. And then I have this one ready to go. That's going to become a pocket. So let's go through a little bit and see what else I've done here, because it's been a while since I've opened up the book as well. I have some work to do there. I have made these 2 inserts for my middle pockets, and I did this on the first and the second signature. And then I had this that I had covered with, it was just a card, and I just covered it, and I thought, oh, that would be a cute little picture journal tag for that. This one I haven't quite decided. I might do the same thing and cut around here and then make this a pocket that goes in from the middle. I'm not quite sure about that yet. Haven't decided. I could actually take a paper clip and then do the same image and clip it in there as a writing spot. This came from, I think it was either the kit or Vintage Compendium. And I might have already had it done because I was going through some of my stuff and I want to start using what I have. Then I think the pages where the ladies are writing, I'm going to leave those just free to be on their own because you can journal. I'll put more papers in here, but you can journal along here on the back of the tag, obviously, and then I'll add some more paper. This one is going to go here. So that now becomes a pocket. This will just stay journaling, I believe, for that one. And then let's see. I used one of my die cuts to match this one up. And we'll get some tags and stuff into that one. This one was actually, this came from Papers. I had to go searching for this. It was a freebie. I should have wrote it down. I probably did somewhere. It was a freebie that Amanda gave us, I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago. I don't remember, but it was like just paper that you could use to crinkle up and do different stuff. So I thought, I want to make a long pocket because I think this also came from her, which I'm going to decorate because I wanted to put this long tag in here, which I already had. And then I thought the envelope looked cute. And then this I just found in my stash. Like I said, I'm trying to use up like stash stuff. This I think I'll just leave for writing. I may do something here since this was sort of a lot of writing type paper, but I might put a pocket on here because you could still journal up here. Plus you could journal on whatever. Because see, there's more writing and more writing. Or I think I'm going to put a pocket here, more writing. I'll do some sort of a side pocket or, yeah, I haven't decided. I haven't decided on that one yet. And then again, I did my center pocket, and I think I might come back and print some more paper and then make it match here, the tiny little pockets that would kind of match that. I might do that on the first signature as well. And then more writing, and then another. So yeah, I had a lot of writing spots in this one. But you know what? You work with what you got. And I'm not going to tear it apart. We're just going to go with it. I'm going to fill it up. This also came from those papers. I just decided I wanted a side tuck pocket. And then this is a little pocket too that I can actually put a little tag or a bookmark type thing in. And then this just came out of the stash. It was from another kit of hers. And like I said, I'm going through my stuff. I want to see what I can use. Again, I mirrored the picture, put a tag in there, and then this one I just decided to keep it as a belly band, and I will add more stuff. This was Vintage Compendium. But while I was doing this, I had another idea, which may go in one of these. Maybe it was the first one. Like I said, I have to revisit because I've been away from this book and crafting for a minute. Or maybe it was here. Yeah, maybe it was here. But anyhow, this is kind of the idea I had. And it actually came from my idea book. And I would have used what I already had, but it didn't quite line up. So I just printed this out on 110-pound cardstock paper. And I've already gone ahead and measured sort of how this should land in the book. So I'm just going to leave a page open here. Doesn't have to be any particular page. So I want this to be within like 4.5, and I think that's what I did, or 4.25. Nope, I did do 4.5. And I went ahead and put my score marks in just because I wanted to bring you along with me. And then I'm just going to take my scoreboard or my trimmer, and I'm going to trim that off. And then how far do I want it from the top? So I think I want it almost all the way to the top. So I think I'm going to trim this off. Or do I want to fold that up? I'm going to trim it off. Let's just not confuse the process. Okay, I'm going to trim this off. Right to about the bottom of that green line. Okay, that's good. And then I may trim right to the top of there, which would give me a full page. Okay, let me think about this for a second. And I may just score that top and fold that top over just a little bit. Okay, let me bring this back in. And then what my idea was is to take this, and obviously these sides are going to get folded in. I'm not going to worry about the bottom. I'll just glue that down. But I may fold this top part down. And what my idea was is I'm going to cut in between here. I'm going to cut little slits or little openings. And then that way I can tuck things right down in each of the pockets. So let me get my... And I have to think about this for a minute, so I'll probably do it off camera. Do I want it the whole length? Do I want to get rid of that lace completely and make that pocket completely open? Or if I get in my big book, hang on. So this is what gave me the idea, and I could maybe cut one of these out and use this as my guide, or I may even go into my dies. I don't think I have, oh, wait a minute. I bet, yeah, I have a die. Let's just take a look here. Something that I could just go straight across. Like maybe, so that wouldn't work. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'll either cut them out with an X-Acto knife, or I will, that could have been a possibility if this was longer, but I'm going to have to do too much work to do that, so I might as well just do it by hand. And I don't really see anything else that's going to give me those lines that I want. So, okay, that's what I'm going to do. This looks like it is long enough, so what I'm going to do is either cut this one or maybe even to the end, because I think I'd almost like those pockets to come to that score line. And anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Enough babbling. I'll get that done, and then I'll be back and we'll put that in somewhere. Okay, I just wanted to come on real quick before I get this completely finished. And as you can see, I've made some little marks down each side of where I wanted that to land. And then instead of trying to use this tiny little piece of paper I had to draw around it, I decided to go right up to the gray line on either side. I then took my X-Acto knife or finger blade, and then I just went ahead and made sure I actually did it from this side on each one and then turned them all around so that I could come down and I wouldn't go past this line. And then I have these little tiny, teeny weeny little scissors by the suggestion of a subscriber. And I don't remember who it was, but thank you, because I do find myself grabbing them. And then I'm just going to finish taking out those little pieces and snipping them like up to the edges. So I'm going to finish doing that. I'm going to go in and ink everything. And then I will have my pockets. Cool, huh? I'll be back. Okay, I've gotten pretty far. My desk is a mess, and that's not like usual for me, but that's okay. I'm really intense now. Took me a minute to get into it, but once I do, I sort of just can't stop. Okay, so we've seen that one. This is what I ended up doing over here. Just had some extra pieces of paper. I think this was in my stash. So I just made a double pocket, and I'm starting to put some of the journaling cards and stuff in it just so I can sort of see how it's all looking. This is going to be for writing. This came from, I want to say Floral Grace, but like I said, Amanda's links will be in the description box below. But you can journal on this, and then you can just go check out her Ko-fi shop, and you can check out all her papers and stuff. So there's that. And then this we'll get back to, because that was just something different I kind of came up with. This one, I loved the side pocket, so I did that. I'm happy with these. This also has a little tuck spot here when I start to fill everything. I just used one of my die cuts to create that. We'll get those filled. This is going to be a journaling spot. This one I just ended up doing the little pocket that matched the bottom here, and just left that as is, and then just put some journaling tags in that one. Let's see, this one I think I already showed. I ended up putting that in. I don't remember if I showed it or not. This was the fan corner tag, so I've put some things in there and decorated that up. Haven't put anything in that one yet. We've seen that one. This one, now I love doing these. These are super fun, but anything that I had already had made did not match. So this is new. So each time you turn a page, you can journal. And then not only that, but this also has pockets, a pocket. So that will get full as well. And then this one, I just ended up making a belly band. So I've cleared up a lot of like just pages that I'm like, oh gosh, I put so many writing pages together. So I've kind of addressed that problem. I do have one of these on the front. Normally I would only put one of these in the journal, but when I came across that, I'm like, oh, that is just perfect for that spot. So I put that there. I also did the same thing here. I just matched with one of my die cuts. I ran more paper, matched, and that'll all be filled up with some tags. Got a couple things in there right now, but there'll be more. This one, this was a tag I had made the other day. I did a little let's make a tag, and pockets. I did mostly tags, but this was a pocket that I did. I'm like, you know what, that just goes. And then that way I wasn't using, I don't know, it just kind of felt like I was using too much of the same thing over and over. So I was trying to break it up a little bit. But you'll be able to tuck stuff back here. Plus there is a vintage compendium tag in there. And I think I'm going to put a pull tab on that. I haven't done this one yet, so I have no idea yet, but it'll come to me. That's okay. Now here's the one that I glued in that had all the different pockets, and I absolutely love how this one came out. So that will all be filled in. I think I already showed you that one. I ended up putting this over here and switching the tag to a different spot. So I think we've gone all over these. So let me come back to this one. So this one, I was like, oh, I'm going to use up some of that extra paper that I ran. And I'm going to make my, you know, signature flip up writing spots. Plus, it also becomes a pocket. But I wanted to do something a little different for the bottom. I normally do. I just put a little button there and then tuck it in. But it's like, I just want to do something different. So I kind of was sitting here looking at my stuff. And I'm like, you know, I've got some of this left from that little 3-flip book that I made. You know, if I use this, how am I gonna figure out how to glue this in and be able to glue the edges down but still make it tuck? So I thought I would bring you along for this one. So all I did, let me get my book over here, was basically folded these in half, and then I'm gonna go ahead and ink this up real quick because I won't have an opportunity after it's on. You only have to do one side, whatever side you're putting down, which is going to be this side. You don't have to do the back side. Okay, I'm going to do that. And then I can ink these up when I get done. So what I did was I took this and I want my back side to be, wait a minute, I need to turn that around because that was where I got my grid, how I wanted to use the grid. Let me get that just a little bit more. Okay, so this is going to be my front. It's going to flip up, and then I need my little grid here, and I didn't want it to come flush because then it won't sit right. So I basically kind of looked at that little, there's a little green line underneath where that fold is, and that's where I went with the back side of it. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, and then I just sort of lined it up where I wanted it. Keep my head out of the camera if I can. And then press that in. That one might be up a little bit too much. I think I've got enough room. Okay, press that in. Then I don't want to stick any of this down, so I sort of just waited for that glue to dry because I do not want that sticking to that. So while that's doing that, I'm going to come back and take my front side again, and then I'm going to put some corners on it with my favorite corner punch that I use all the time. And let's see, is that dry yet? Looks like I might have to stick that down just a little bit more. I went really smooth the first time. Isn't that always the way? Okay, get that stuck down. And then again, like I said, I don't want any of that sticking to this. So you might have to give it a few minutes, but for camera purposes, I'll do it. Then I just went and trimmed off each edge. Okay, now at this point, I laid this down like this. Is it sticky? Oh, sticky's gone. Okay. And then I took my art glitter glue, and I literally, in these corners where I punched, I literally just put a teeny bit of glue in each corner. And then I'm going to bring my book back in here. When I flipped it up, I just pressed to the outside. I don't want to bring that glue in. I want to bring it out. And then that way it glues just those little corners, but still gives you that option to put your paper in there. But I gotta let it dry. And then I went ahead and put it in my book. And this one is gonna land probably about right there. Yeah. So then I went ahead and glued the 3 sides. Now normally I would be Miss Persnickety about the white paper, but it didn't seem to bother me this time. You know, knowing me, I normally would have just went and run a new sheet and run it front and back so that I wouldn't have white on the inside. But I was like, well, there's white in there, and you know, I really just wanted to, you know, kind of use this paper up. So, not necessary. Okay. Yeah. I might have to get these corners just a little bit, but I need to make sure this can pop in there. But anyway, you get the idea. I think it's fine, really. I don't think I'm going to mess with it any further. But then you can flip up. You can write in there, and then you also have pockets. So I just wanted to show you that. I'm going to go ahead and get those other 2 pages done, and then it's time to start thinking about my cover. While I'm on that cover, I'm going to be using corners, my little corner. I don't know what you call them, book corners. Oh yeah, that's what you call them, book corners. But I'm going to be using, I think, some Rub and Buff. So I have this, it's a silver Rub and Buff. I want to see if it takes some of that shine away. I want it to be a little more muted. And so I'll see how that works. But yeah, you just put it on and let it dry, and then I'll just clamp them down. So I'll be back. And here it is. It is all complete. Well, mostly. I have a couple things left to do, but I wanted to go ahead and get this on here. I am going to make a tag or something for the back pocket that I put on. But I did go ahead. I might do something to the spine. I just needed to get this done and kind of move on. But I'm pleased with the way it came out because I did kind of struggle a little bit with the cover. But thank you to everybody who answered my border issue, and it did come out lovely. I really like it. I also used the book corners, and I did use that antique. It wasn't even an antique silver. It was just a silver Rub and Buff. And they came out really nice too. And then this was not the color I really wanted it to be. So I just used the Rub and Buff to make it all come out the same. So let's just go through this, and this will be the final flip through for this one. So this is a lady's diary. So we open it up, and you've already seen some of the pages, but I've just gone ahead and added you know, my papers. I have a library card. I've added some pockets. I believe we went over this one, but I did decorate the tag that's on the inside. So I don't think I had that done the last time, because this is now the next day that I'm actually finishing up. I've put an embellishment on the paper. And again, I've added some note paper. I also have, this came from Floral Grace. I went ahead and added the little button for a closure. This came with the current kit. I had some scraps, so I thought, well, that's going to become a little journal spot. I went ahead and added my corners. I think these are pretty cool. I was going to do them throughout, but I only ended up doing 4 of them, and I think they just turned out perfectly. So let's see. So these are all for journaling. Now these, I was like, I went to do something, and all of a sudden I was like, oh wait, that's a pocket too. So this is not only where you can flip up and write and journal in there, you can also use it as a little pocket. And so then I just went ahead and did that and added some journaling spots. I've also added some quotes. I like to do that throughout my journal. I'm also going to add my letter from the journal maker. I always put them in my journals before I sell them. Gives people ideas of what to do. That's a lot of the questions I get, is like, what do you do with them? So I don't know, like, the areas that you may be in, but around here, people don't really know what this is. And they're like, what do you do with it? I have one awesome customer. She just buys them because she thinks they're beautiful and she likes to look at them. But you can write in them, definitely write in them. So here's where my center ended up. I ended up using this as a little tuck because I still wanted to see this picture here. I may go back and put another little writing paper here. This one I made a little booklet. Again, I had extra paper left over. So I may go back and put some little saying on there, imagine or something. This one, I think I showed you already. We just made the little pocket. Life is a magnificent adventure. And then I just added a few things to this one. And this one, again, another extra little journaling spot. I added this to kind of the ones that didn't have anything on them. I thought then you could flip right to where you wanted to journal maybe for that day. More ephemera or more writing here. This one I went ahead and added the little tuck spots. I added the tag and then the color swatch, and then this here actually comes out and it is another tag. And then of course the journaling spots, lots of journaling spots in here. And then that is my first signature. Then I've just added some more little journaling here. I may add another little tag or something up there. More journaling because this became a pocket. This one I think we already talked about, but I did actually use more of the leftover paper to create another tag, and then used the button to make a little pull tab. Again, I used the front and back. Amanda did remind me, now I printed these, I flipped it. I talked about that. She did remind me, if it has writing on it, don't forget now that's going to be backwards. And I think I did use one, but I didn't really care because I put the backwards on the outside, I think. We talked about this one. I think I already went over this one, but this is all journaling and then more journaling. I love these. I need to get to using more of them. More journaling spots. This one is just old school paper that I've coffee dyed. And then let's see, we've talked about that one. Like I said, I may add a few more things, but I like people to be able to add their own too, so I don't like to stuff them too much. And then this one I made a little booklet out of. I just thought it was cute. So I just had extra paper and I'm like, oh, I'll make a little tiny journal out of it. And then it just went right there. And then used this for this. I may go and cover that white part. I may leave it. It doesn't look bad. I just got in my stash, and that's where I looked for a lot of my stuff that I usually put into journals. This one, it's a recipe card, but you definitely can use it for journaling. It just doesn't have to be for recipes. And then just another journaling page. Over here, I just decorated again with one of the little embellishments. And then I used another coffee dyed. I got these a long time ago. I want to say at Dollar General. I've never seen them since. So then I just coffee dye. Some I leave coffee dyed, some I don't. And then this one I thought was kind of cool. I was trying to use up some of these just blank, nothing pages. But this one actually you can flip up and do journaling on. And there's another one up underneath of there. Yeah, and then you can even journal up underneath there. And then we've got her journaling. Now this was that big one I made. I showed you just about everything in there, but then I needed a longer tag. So I went ahead and made this one. And then I put another double embellishment. And these letters were so small, even if they're backwards, once it gets to that side, I don't think anybody's going to stop to read it. I think I've showed you that one. I ended up putting another button there for the closure. And then just some more journaling tags. This was my belly band, and then of course I have a pocket on the back where I'll put tags or paper, some coffee dyed paper, and then I'm going to do something to this side, but I don't know what yet. I'm thinking like a long pen, a picture, if I can find something of a long pen or feather, like a writing feather and an ink jar. I don't know, but for the most part, it is finished, and I got there eventually, but it's done. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. I think I'm going to do something from my book of ideas. So have a great day, everyone. Thanks for stopping in. Bye.